Good morning. Okay, there's a lot of energies going on in what I was tapping into, and then like just kind of numbness, or I get a lot of being lost in thought or just blinked out. So I was channeled. I wish you love, and I didn't even know that it was actually there's. I'm a Gemini, and I'd be a space cadet. I'm like. I don't pay attention to what's going on, but I kept getting "I wish you love," and like I was hearing like melody to it. And anyways, I got something else too. I don't remember what it was. It was like insignificant, but I'm like, what the fuck? And I was getting like goodbyes and you know what? Yeah, I'm just blank out again. And I just get this blank out. It's what I'm getting is a mixture of sadness and acceptance with a little bit of peace and pain. And it's just like the time has come and it's sad, but you've accepted it and made peace with it, even though it hurts. I think that's kind of like why the lost, or like checked out, like just kind of blanked out because of that. There's that peace, but yet there's still this pain there. This is knowledge and this understanding, and so you kind of just sitting there, like, wow, with this acceptance and peace, even though it's painful. Um, so I looked up the song "I Wish You Love." I wish I could remember what else I was channeled with it, but it's obviously insignificant since I don't remember. Don't mind me. I have been doing Reiki on myself, and I'm clearing things out. And so, and then when you channel, sometimes, it can upset anything in your body, whether if it's pain, tingles, um, like when you're channeling, but it also like moves energy around. It can make you burp, all sorts of stuff, especially when you're trying to heal and release things. Like if you're like, have Reiki done to you, do energy work. When you go somewhere and have it done, then people usually let you know, hey, drink more water, try to rest. You can experience weird, things going on. Like you can be upset, nauseous, tired, exhausted. You can have bubble guts. You can, all sorts of things. It can mess with all sorts of things because it's energy work trying to clear and heal you out. As a channeler, as a healer, and someone who's on a healing journey, I'm always going through things and certain energies, or if I'm going through more of like purging, then I it can make me belch and stuff like that, and my stomach is like bubble guts. Um, it's not so bad today, but the belching. About a couple days ago, oh my god, my gut was and I was so sick to my stomach, and then if you drink like aspartate like water, I call it bubble gut water, like those ice ones or whatever, or soda, it can make you, that bubbly feeling. Um, that's what I mean, like bubble guts, like your gut and everything inside is like, gurgly and just bubbly, Um, so a couple days ago, it was really actually horrible. Um, and now all of a sudden, I guess I'm to the point where I'm releasing it. So now I'm like belching. So don't mind me. So the song "I Wish You Love," I believe it's from Natalie Cole. It's "I wish you blueberries in the spring to give your heart a song to sing, and then a kiss. But more than this, I wish you love. And in July, a lemonade to cool you in some leafy glade. I wish you health and more than wealth. My breaking heart and I agree that you and I could never be. So, with my best, my very best, I set you free. I wish you shelter from the storm, a cozy fire to keep you warm. But most of all, when snowflakes fall, I wish you love. So it's those endings, those goodbyes. I know it's for, a romantic song or whatever, but I know for myself, when they channeled it to me, and I'm like, I wish you love. And then I was like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? What are you saying? I wish you love. What is this? And then I could hear that there was melody to it. So then I knew it was music. And I went to go look it up. And when I looked it up, they had me listen to it. And I was like, oh man. And, I felt this just acknowledgement. And then I felt a little sad and I cried a little. It wasn't heaviness, it was relief. I felt this relief. And it wasn't in regards to romantic love. It made me think of my family. It made me think of, like in this journey, you know, the letting go of, that healthy family that I wanted and having a relationship with my family. Those childhood dreams of, wishing your family could love you and actually be there for you. So, it brought up memories in regards to that, and then the pain and disappointment. And that's where I went like, wow, yeah, I got to say goodbye to my mom. And this goodbye is forever goodbye. Which, I haven't spoken to her now since a whole bunch of crap went on. It's, been very abusive. I left abuse thinking I was healing and had a lot more abuse go on. God took me back. God took me all the way back to the beginning of where it originated from, of why I repeated the cycle of abuse, why I thought abuse was love. And that's been the hardest part of this journey, and that destruction. And then I was already in the lowest point of my life, to be breaking and broken the fuck opened even more and broken down. All while trying to maintain hope. It has been rough, and I'm not struggling to hold on to faith. Sometimes it comes up where it's like, I know this is meant for good, but there's times that you don't see it. You're like, what the fuck? I'm so exhausted, and like the struggle can be so real some days, and the heartbreak to process it out and grieve it's a lot. Especially there was a lot going on, so there was just this accumulation that just kept going. And you know I was thinking, like, right before that, like, I was like, well, in regards to, I, there was something where, like, I haven't spoken to the person, but to, like, my mom, um, and, like, she's drove by stalking and just bullshit. And it's really funny because in this last night, like, she won't say nothing to me, but last night she texted a group chat. The first time she was, like, addressing me without saying my name. The last time she did this, she was abusing me and being a smartass. But this time she was trying to, like, ego trip, right? My brother, his birthday just passed, on the 29th of September, and he's 40 now. And so, I was like, oh yeah, he's over the hill, to the group chat, because my sister-in-law, said something, and she took pictures of, like, what they did right for his birthday that morning when he woke up, like black balloons all over, and this stuff all over the yard, right? And he probably wasn't too happy about it. And so she shared, and she was laughing, and I said, oh yeah, he's over the hill now. And my mom wanted to, like, in her way, to try to make it seem like she's not attacking. No, he's not over the hill. You have to be over 50 to be over the hill, and just all this bullshit. No, you don't. Some people say it's over 50, some people say 40, and the majority of people say 40. And growing up, I always remember, even when I was a little girl, people had balloons, and at their 40th fucking birthday party would have, like, over the hill, and would have 40 on it. Over time, I think it's switched from 40 to 50. But it's both now. Some people don't want to say 40, they want to say 50. And so I'm like, no, it's not, it's 40. And so, I didn't say that to her, but I'm thinking this in my head, and I knowing how my mom is, she's trying to nitpick, and, she's trying to one up that fucking ego trip, and, oh, she knows all. And, that's just her low vibrational petty ass self, as well as being narcissistic, and I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to argue with her, but I'm going to look it up. So I'm going to look up, when is that considered, right? And it came up where Some people say it's 40, some people say it's 50. And considering that the life expectancy is only about 80 years old, that's why a lot of people say 40, because then you're at that halfway mark, like going over the hill now, right? And so I just screenshotted it and I sent it and I said, I know a lot of people who say it's over the hill at 40. And that was it. I left it alone because she was meaning to try to, it was in her way to try to be, that narcissistic, covert narcissism bullshit. And I was like, I'm not going to deal with this. She hasn't spoken to me, but she'll drive by. She's other things that she said, like very abusive. She's even reached out to my children, abusing them, and saying nasty ass shit to them. Like something I posted on YouTube that was like months back though. But this is what she's been doing. My daughter let me know that she's kept trying to call her also here recently. And she did this after I got this channeling. And then I was thinking like, oh yeah, like, yeah, I really have to say goodbye. She hasn't grown. She hasn't changed. And, to be at my lowest place and they future faked, and they had me lose every fucking thing on a future fake narcissistic bullshit, that was at my expense, and my dumb ass fell for it. Yes, that's the inevitable dealing with narcissists, as well as the inevitable of what I was dealing with. People get to their breaking point. That's why, it's so important when they talk about birds of a feather and being mindful of who you hang out with or who you talk to, because you never know one day when you're just gonna, not have your resilience or not see something and you're just getting sucked in, right? So it was a lot of hard lessons, and God took me back to this place where, to be constantly attacked, like what I was dealing with when I was growing up. I grew up in and out of foster care. To try to keep my head above water during it all so that I can make peace with everything and see and acknowledge like things in regards to stuff. So, it popped up and it was like, I was thinking, how the fuck am I saying goodbye without saying goodbye? Because I'm not going over to their place and I'm not going to speak to them. And so, it's funny that all that happened. So in regards to that sign for myself, it was personal, as in regards to family and saying goodbye, because it's not just my mom, it's other people. I don't really talk to anyone in my family. I've actually most of my family I have blocked, deleted. There's a few that I don't talk to too often that I have to be mindful of. Like my grandmother, I have to be mindful of her, but I haven't blocked and deleted her. But my sister, I've had to, and whatever, and not her phone number or whatever. But there's other people that's totally blocked. And I'll probably be changing my phone number, and no one will have it. Unfortunately, that's what it's come to. You have to make the best decisions for yourself. And when I heard that song, it was like, what the hell? And then it was like, oh wow, it does relate to me. But actually that's the energies that I'm picking up on. Mine's not romantic. I was picking up on romantic energy after channeling and realizing, oh my God, this has to do with me too. But what I was picking up on was romantic. But then it kind of got lost somewhere in because then I was reflecting, pulled up stuff, and I was like, oh man, because it made me think about, all that I have to say goodbye to, and it's for my betterment. The romantic feelings, I don't even know, like it felt more kind of like a friendship than romantic. There was also confusion in regards to the romantic feelings that I was feeling, and then I kind of got lost into my own shit. There was a lot of other things, but I don't remember what they were, because I kind of got sucked into my own stuff and being reflective and just accepting that peace and thinking what is best for me in regards to the saying goodbye. And because either way I have to say goodbye, and I mean, I don't have to, but I do, because I will be blocking her phone number. I'm not going to once I move, I'm not going to have anything to do with my mother again. And I won't. I won't. I'm not sure exactly when I'm going to be changing my number, but 6 months, year, 2 years, I'm not sure. But eventually, it's going to be where she will have no way to get a hold of me. It may happen right away. I don't really know. I'm trying to figure it all out. What is best for me and how to go about it. Um, that's really tough to have to people that you love to have to go to those extremes because they're so unhealthy. Um, and even like if it's not family, there are sometimes people that you love that they feel like such family to you. That it can be hard. And you think family, or is it just familiar? It's something that you're used to, that and so it's like that devil energy, trying to pull you back and fool you, thinking that it's God source energy. Those wounds and stuff like that. And it's funny because my daughter brought something up about God is giving her all these signs. And then she tells me what she's talking about, and I'm like, that's not from God. And so she got really ticked off and was saying stuff. I didn't even really read what she was saying. She's like, you always think it's something and you don't know what God's telling me. And then she's like, you're pissing me off and all this stuff, right? So then, I'm just ignoring her and I'm like, that's not of God. Then who? She's like, then who the fuck is it? And I'm like, it's of the devil. And, then she got more pissed off. And so then I just sit here and I pray that God gives her discernment. It's not about religion, but God source energy, Christ consciousness, universe, whatever you believe for yourself, right? And so, I was like, I pray that, that you hear him and that you can see him and know the signs that he's leaving for you, and luckily that shut her ass up. It's that toxic. My kids have to learn to be better in the sense of dealing with toxicity and their own triggers and anger, because she went to a lost lack mentality, where, oh yeah, God's telling me to go be a fucking stripper again. God is not going to tell you to go be a damn stripper. Okay. Like what's wrong with your thinking? And then she brought up about, how she's been working like 12 hours shifts and whatever. And then, oh my God, and she's just killing herself. And then all of a sudden now this week, she only has one day that she's working a 12-hour shift. Well, you were just complaining, right? That you were doing all this working, it's like, hello, are you being grateful? And then she's like, I'm getting, it was just all this dumb shit. And I'm like, but then you could see the loss and lack because, oh, I need money and that's not enough or this or that, or, that complaining, that negativity there. Well, like you can't be happy about something. That's not God. That's not God source energy, Christ consciousness, awakenedness, being at one, being at peace. This is not, what are you manifesting? So, I had to pray for her and just let it be. That's something she has to learn on her own and just try to plant those seeds for her. That's not of the devil, and I could have sat here and I could have told her, but you know how a 22-year-old's going to be. If you're like, hey, you're talking about, lost lack mentality and you're being ungrateful and, you were just talking about, oh my God, I'm working all these hours. And now all of a sudden you have no hours and now you're complaining about that. Well, let's see here, hey, be careful what you say, right? Be careful what you wish for. And it's funny because there was supposed to be a reading that I was supposed to do on here last week about be careful what you wish for. And I'm not sure if I did it or not. But it's funny that energy came up last week and, like trying to, teach that to my children that are now young adults and they just struggle to get it. My children have autism and then growing up in abuse, domestic abuse doesn't make it any better. And then that guilt and shame that I have, but I'm not going to get stuck in those dynamics of, because they like to do that ego tripping, like my mom, that immature, mentality and emotional, it's funny though, my children or my daughter's 22, my son's 24. They are more emotionally mature than my mother. And they don't power trip like my mother does, and what she did there that I was talking about, that was mild. That was just her trying to like, bait or do a little nitpicking. My mother is very nitpicky. And we'll keep nitpicking and nitpicking, and then when she's not getting an reaction, she gets worse and worse, right? And so it's understanding this. I mean, in this dynamic of like dealing with her abuse, I said something to her about, her mentality hasn't changed since she was in kindergarten. And she was really pissed off because she was held back in kindergarten, because she would abuse all the kids and beat them up and throw tantrums and throw shit because she she was greedy and stingy. She's very greedy and stingy, and then very deep. She's a Scorpio and very low vibrational, toxic Scorpio, and immature also. And so she never outgrew that. She would play with the toys and she'd hog them all. And if she put it down and another little kid picked it up, she'd beat them up. I mean, literally, she would beat them up and take the toy and throw tantrums. And, I guess she would take like carts and whatever she could get, like playtime and like wagons. And she'd like put all the toys that she wanted in there. And then she'd like hawk everything and beat people up and yell and scream. So she got held back in kindergarten for being selfish and then, exploding and not handling herself and, being that way. And I was like, during her abuse sometime in the last year, I was like, it's really sad. That little girl that got held back in kindergarten because, she was stingy and selfish and wanted everything was about her and everything was hers. That entitlement also, and then that toxicity of rebelliousness, because then if she put something down and someone picked it up to play with it, it was its mine. And then this vengeful little girl came out, and then she thought at all costs she could do whatever she wanted at everyone else's expense because it was hers. And so she could beat them up and yell and scream and hit them and whatever. That's the way my mother still is. And it's like, you're like, I don't know, I'm 45, so she's like 60s. Okay. You're 60s, you're 60 years old woman. And she might not even be 60. Maybe she turned 60 this year. I don't really remember. Maybe she is 60 and turned 61. Yeah, I kind of got a little lost. I think she had me at 15. So if she's 60, and then she had a birthday 6 months later or 5 months later, because her birthday is actually in November, the beginning of November. I'm trying to think. Either way, she's about 60 years old. And even though she had me at a young age, she never grew from that 5-year-old. And I mean, she grew, she grew in double energy. You can't stay stuck and stagnant forever. You can stay stuck and stagnant in a certain way, but you're always growing and changing. So if you're not getting healthier and getting better, what are you doing? You're growing the opposite way. So you're getting worse, if that's the way you want to see it. Anyway, so there's this energy going on. This energy last week. I'm not sure if I did a reading about being mindful of what you say or what you wish for. That manifestation energy and understanding your thoughts and your words are powerful. They set intentions, or like prayers. Intentions are prayers. It's spell work. It's all the same. It's I'm not going to do no debate here in regards to witchcraft or Christianity. It is all one and the same. Just like we all pray to the same God, regardless of how you practice it or not. We all pray to the same God, source energy, universe, whatever it is for you. We just go about it in different ways because of perception, culture, environment, programming. Our devil energy are things that we need to break free from, control dynamics. There's all these different factors that go and are involved in everything of why there's this separation or difference in regards to all religions or religion versus witchcraft, right? That's another debate for another day. Anyways, I have a lot of things I need to do. I need to go to Hobby Lobby, and I need to get off here. I need to get back to painting. There's been so many distractions in my life. I'm not sure right now if I'm going to be, there's a contest going on that I was in 2 years ago. And then last year, because of all the abuse going on with my mom, I didn't do it. And I was supposed to do it this year. Then the abuse got worse. And now it's like crunch time. There's only like 2-3 weeks left. And this summer I was going to start on it, but then, the abuse got so bad. It was like, okay, I can't do this. Now I'm sitting here like, maybe I can, but I only have 2-3 weeks. So I got to figure that out, as well as get some things to make like holiday cards to sell and stuff like that, like watercolor ones and whatever. I at least got to do the watercolor things, as in regards to, like holiday cards, like Christmas or Yule or whatever, um, and other errands to run. A lot of things I have to try to figure out. Anyways, all right, we're going to start with the Moonology. I don't know. I'm being called to some things here. And I'm like, no, we can't do that right now. I'm being called to the sexual, I'm not sure what the deck is called, actually. It's sexual magic. And I'm like, we can't do that right now. I'm not even in that energy to do anything. All right, Spirit. Let's see, what do you have for us in regards to this energy and the song that I channeled for this reading? I wish you love. So this is a general collective energy reading. If you don't resonate, that's okay. It's not meant for you. You can either come back another time and check out another reading and see if it resonates for you, or you can check out another reader. I would advise to do both. If it resonates, you will know. And energy is fluid, so this can be pertaining to you or anyone in your energetic field. That means people that you think about, that there is healing that needs to be done, or as well as people inside of your environment. Okay, inside your environment can be just people that you pass at the grocery store here and there, as well as, people that you work with, friends, family. So you have to apply it if it resonates, how it fits in your situation. This is just a general reading. All right, so we have a personal issue reaches resolution. This is full moon in Cancer. I'm getting a coming out of the crab shell. I'm getting like a stepping out of your comfort zone, or stepping out of the crab shell. What is this, Spirit? We have luck is on your side, new moon in Sagittarius. For that new start. Coming out, stepping out, making your debut. That's like the closing of one cycle and the opening of another, like the closing of that door and the opening of the door. It's that making the debut. Going from like one timeline to another, or one dynamic of life circumstances and those life cycles into another, making that debut, coming out of that crab shell, going from the familiar to something that is unknown. So we have then luck is on your side in regards to this unknown, or this stepping out of your comfort zone, or the crab shell, or stepping into that new, and then like leaving the familiar behind, or that comfortable. I can't talk. Comfort. Scorpio energy. No wonder I was talking about my mother. It's funny though, because I'm very scorpionic. I do have some Scorpio in my chart. But it's funny, like that death energy, like, I will teach people a lesson. That I have a shadowy side where I will teach people a lesson or tell them about their fucking selves. So that scorpionic energy, that death energy, that I'll sting your ass, right? And I was talking about that in regards to like telling my mother, you never fucking grew up, right? That's that stinger of I'm gonna tell you about yourself. We have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. The fear of the unknown, the fear of this new, and the creation of the new, of like leaving that familiar behind, leaving that comfort zone, and stepping out of that crab shell energy, making your debut. a whole new world. It's for that whole new world energy. They just gave me whole new world. Like going from one world. That's the what I was saying a minute ago. I don't remember the words that I used. We have balanced spirituality and practicality. This is full moon in Pisces. This is balancing also your feminine and your masculine. Spirituality is your feminine side, and the practicality would be taking action, the masculine side. But this is making sure that you dedicate time to spirituality, your feminine, your emotions, not just taking action and being logical or being a man and being practical. You know, one or both. Either one is not best. You need to have like a daily practice where you incorporate both things into your life. You know, if you're just all up in your head, a thinker, a dreamer, or a crybaby. I don't mean to say crybaby to be rude, but you know, that crybaby depressed energy, or even something more severe, and not to be mean, but like through trauma, like disassociation or whatever, you get lost. That's spirituality in a negative sense, right? And that's why I say crybaby, because it's in the negative sense. It's taking the practical, it's taking mixing the practical to understand that spiritual sense, that that's the negative side of spirituality, because you're not tapping in for good, you're checking out. And it's funny, I was talking about in regards to this energy, that like zoning out, um but that zoning out was like that peace, and then just zoning into those feelings. That is like the practical side of spirituality, of acceptance. You zoned out in some way, but you didn't check out, right? It's like understanding there's a mindfulness here of utilizing and balancing spirituality and the practicality in a practice, in all practices is what they're telling me, like in how you move or how you function, of what is going to help you. It's to overcome the fear. I'm trying to understand what they're giving me and how to explain it. It's kind of like what I was talking about a minute ago in regards to instead of being overwhelmed or fearful or allowing yourself to go into some negative emotions, it was that spirituality where you accept, but then you kind of just zone out a little bit and just allow yourself to sit there and process. It's learning that balance. So it's like through the fear and through the difficulties of life, it's learning how to balance that out, of understanding how to utilize those energies and how to practice them. That's the best I have for it, of kind of, it's not avoidance, but it's kind of like the disassociation, right? Or even a strolling would be like the good sense of like, it's kind of like disassociation. And it took me years for me to understand that I disassociated. I went through a lot of trauma, but people kept asking me like what a straw projection is, like I call it a strolling. And I don't know, at least 5 years ago, no more than 10 years ago, I was telling people it's like disassociating. And it took me years of saying this off and on when people would ask me about a straw production. Until and I just was like, okay, something's there with this, right? And then finally it was like, oh my God, well, how do I know? How do I know that they're the same? Because I've done both. So it's understanding that polarity of all things and being practical and mindful in regards to how you do things, but it's also implementing in the everyday spiritual practices, time for meditation, implementing this into your life so that you are more balanced and centered within. It's also in overcoming not just fear, but fear. Neptune energy, Pisces. Neptune is illusionary, right? So illusions can talk about fear. Illusions can talk about fantasy. Neptune is very good to bring you illusions and to fuck with you. Neptune has hit me upside my fucking head when there's things going on with Neptune. Yeah, sometimes I get pissed off. I would have to say that that's one of the biggest in this journey of healing. There's a couple times Neptune went into retrograde, at least twice. that boy, did he fuck with me. And I was like, oh shit, twice for sure that I know of. And I'm like, oh my God, Neptune, you're pissing me off. He will go deep down in the fears of your energies and create illusions, distortion. It is to help you work through those energies, to help you be balanced, also help you if you're gifted, or you have abilities. Some people don't like gifts. I was raised in church, so to me they're gifts from God. um, Especially because I've been through a lot of trauma, so I have a lot of near-death experiences, and then the gifts were okay. How do I explain this? I've had these gifts in other lives, or these abilities, and then through near-death experiences in this life, then they were enhanced or brought back out. Like those bits and pieces of me were pulled back, right? So in this lifetime, gifted these through these traumatic events of aspects of myself. Um, So it's this negative or this illusionary fantasy, going to the like depths of your emotions, um, and creating fear and creating illusion and distortion there to help you work through it to have more balance, especially if you have abilities. For what? It's going to be to help protect yourself and grow in your abilities, as well as to work through, it's not just fears, but having balance of understanding what is going on inside of you, of understanding wounds, certain programmings that could be affecting those illusions or distortions. It's funny because I'm getting everything I'm talking about is more someone who would be um, aware of stuff like this, or more aware than, like, if I go talk to my mom about something like this, Scorpio or not, she can understand the depths of hell because she lives in the underworld. She'd be like, the fuck are you talking about? Somebody has to have some knowledge in regards to spirituality or energy work, have some sense or some intuition and abilities here, dabbling of what I'm picking up on. I'm picking up on a mixture of a little bit of high priestess energy and empath. The high priestess would be like the intuition of things unknown. I'm not sure to the level and degree here what I'm picking up on, but enough that I'm talking, more energetic and spiritual in regards to this reading that we haven't even started. And I said at the bottom of the deck, emotions are running high. This is the super moon. All right, so there's a connection here with this. And I'm not sure how to word this stuff in regards to that I wish you goodbye and that song. There's some sense of a high priestess knowledge. If someone's learned something either in regards to their wounds or programming, in regards to this goodbye, the connection, and like maybe something that they've learned and evolved or outgrew. Oh my God. Like spirit confirmation here. My nose like tickling up a storm. Okay. For the people who are God is trying to awaken you, universe is trying to awaken you in regards to this cycle, and you've been getting information. And that's what this is. Some are not at the end, or some are close to the end and getting a lot of information, and they don't like have it all together in the puzzle piece. They're not there yet. And they're learning, they're awakening, and they're trying to figure it all out. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and we're not doing the sexual magic. So there's this knowledge. There is certain knowledge and bits and pieces that somebody's getting in regards to, awakening. whatever life lesson that they're working on closing out. Um, some are the small. Okay, so I'm picking up on groups where it's bigger cycles. They're at their ending of a big cycle and all the little processes. I'm also picking up on someone like starting this where they have all these little cycles. It's all these little cycles in the big cycle to start getting them to awaken. Like years ago, my first cycle. And that cycle had to go, and there kept being all these cycles to evolve more, like the ladder, climbing up the ladder. But it was all in regards to like closing out of the cycle of this abuse in my family. And someone's going through something really big and just starting, they may be in it a little bit. If you think about this or flip it as like a ladder, and this big area, this big space is a life cycle of something that needs to be completed out. Something huge lesson. You're going to have all these increments of foundational things like climbing steps. Someone is more either in the beginning or a little bit into it. They're not anywhere between maybe a sixth of the way in and a fourth at the most in regards to the big area. Some are going to be closer to the beginning. But the furthest that I can get is between a sixth and a fourth furthest in. And then you have more of a bigger spot. I'm picking up on this group. And then there's the group here that's like at the end. Because even if you're in further and then it's just the process and the time frame. I knew what I was cycling out of and knew it all at least halfway. But you have to fortify yourself there, and then things have to play out. All right, so that's confirmation for someone who's been getting all this information and kind of putting the puzzle pieces together, and in high priestess knowledge, some bits and pieces in the journey that they've started. All right, Spirit. In regards to I wish you love and this energy that we're tapped into, can you please give us some more information? So in regards to I wish you love, what's going on, Spirit? All right, they told me to stop. We have the Queen of Swords. Very logical, very filled with air. She is, she gets a lot of information. She's also very intuitive, very logical, because this is air. So this is Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, but it's also water. See how she's up in the clouds, all up in her head. She will think first. She's protecting herself way out. So energetically, she's in her mind and she's outside of herself. She's far reaching is what I'm getting with this. With her energy and chopping shit down. Looks like she's chopping those birds. No, she's cut stuff up to like keep it away from her. She protects herself. I was talking about the protection. And then that it's the learning how to protect yourself better energetically is what I'm getting. For whoever this is resonating for in the beginning, where I was talking about the beginning part of the journey, is just to teach you how to protect yourself energetically and spiritually for your growth and your abilities. Okay, is what I'm getting with this energy. It's not just the physical, but she will chop your head off and ask questions later. This is why. This is another reason why they don't want you to just chop people's heads off and ask questions later. They don't want you to put yourself in that position, in that situation, in those circumstances. They want you to grow and learn. So They're wanting you to learn how to bubble, protect yourself physically as well as energetically and spiritually. So it's not allowing that type of stuff in, but it's also blocking out energetic and spiritual attacks so that you can ground yourself, you can learn, you can heal, and then you cannot. Then, if you're blocking that out, you don't have these attachments, is what they're showing me, or people like pulling on you energetically to keep you pulled into these cycles and these karmic patterns, right? And these karmic loops. So you have to learn how to do it here to it's as above, so below. You have to energetically and spiritually learn how to protect yourself and overcome to take it out of the physical. And in the physical, you may not understand. You may be like, oh, I need to stay away from people. You know, oh, I got to push people back. But it's learning how to handle your energy, how to grow in it, and how to spiritually overcome. There's a sense of protection here, but it's also the spiritually overcome is that awakening, that knowledge, getting you to see that knowledge so that you can overcome that cycle. It has to do with the cycle. That protection, that acknowledgement, that growth here in regards to that karmic cycle and pattern. Protecting yourself spiritually and energetically, as above, so below, and then learning those lessons to fortify yourself, because she'll chop your head off and ask questions later because she's been wounded, right? So it's everybody stay away. There's this is more of a spiritual reading, spiritual and energetic, of understanding the as above, so below. That's why they're taking me out to the ethers in regards to spirituality and energetically. No, you need to do this here. You need to learn how to protect yourself and chop it off here, and then learn to keep yourself protected. And if it keeps coming in, how do you protect yourself? You have to learn. You have to learn whatever lesson it is. Why is it coming in? So you need to heal whatever it is within yourself, whatever wound. And it's all playing out in the 5D. Okay. Meaning that things are going to be coming in for you to learn whatever growth, emotional, spiritual, life lessons you need to learn to also block it out here is what I'm getting. But also the correlation of the two, how they're interconnected. And kind of like how I was talking to my I was talking to my daughter, and then I brought up on here about how I was talking to her, and she was talking about God giving her signs to be a stripper. That's not God. She's not protected here. She's not protected here, and then she doesn't have the discernment. It doesn't matter if I'm using a fucked up situation. It's the truth. They'll say Queen of Swords is very smart, but that's not necessarily true. I mean, my daughter chopped my head off in regards to don't tell her nothing, right? She's wounded. The Queen of Swords for me is, it's the polarity. I mean, in one sense, she can be at the lowest, and the next she can be at the highest, because she can be very tapped in a different way, like because of air, and air is connected to the heart. And so then it's connected to the intuition, right? That's why Queen of Swords is air and then water energy, because they need each other. They're in support of each other. So my daughter not understanding, right? That because of wounds, that what she's seeing isn't what she's seeing. It's not God telling her, it's the devil. She's being tested. And because of that lost lack mentality, because of victimization or whatever is going on with her, right? So she needs to learn to block that out and see it for what it is. And then whatever we'll see wounds, so then she'll chop people's heads off. She's trying to chop my head off. I don't know. I don't know what God's telling her. God's not going to tell your ass that shit. God source energy is creation. So creation, it wants you to be in healthy situations, things that are going to support life, not take away from, not put you in harm, okay? Or keep you in lost lack mentality, subjecting yourself to environments and situations that are not healthy for you, okay? So then anyway, so the Queen of Swords, she's learning this, right? She's gaining information, and she's learning how to protect herself, or needing to, and this is, it's both, because she's opening up to this. I'm not sure how this is connected. I lost the thing of how it's connected to this reading or to that song that I was getting. Oh, because they have to sever those people because they're no good for her. But she still has love for them. She sees it for what it is, because she's had enough growth, right? She can understand it for what it is and make peace with it and let it go. So she don't need to attack them or keep them there. She knows she has to keep them out, not just physically keep them out, but energetically and spiritually, and then have the growth of those lessons. Okay, so anyways, the Queen of Swords. There's all of that came in with that, and then we have the Ace of Wands. This is creation. This is the spark, the light, whatever lights the fucking spark of the match, and the match lights the spark, whatever. It's creation. It is fire. It is creativity, inspiration. So also it can be new beginning, because you get this creative idea or this inspiration to start something new. That's why it's like the match underneath the ass too, to get your ass moving. So we have the Ace of Wands, or the light in the dark. That inspiration, that creativity, that passion that helps you through the dark. We have the Queen of Pentacles. She's very earthy. She's this is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy. Very stable, nurturing, but also hardworking. It's so important how she's sitting on the earth. She's sitting on the earth. I'm not sure what's in her hand. I think it's an animal. I think it might be like a baby goat, but then there's a goat near her. Like how connected she is to earth, Mother Earth, and nature, and the creation of she nurtures life. This is nurturing life, being balanced within, multitasking energy, hardworking. It's like she's sitting on Earth, and they're connecting that to like Mother Earth, and like the womb and the nurturing, the support that is there. Even through the desert, it's in a desert. So even through the storms of or drought, she sustains life because of her balance and her groundedness, her hard working. There's something here with she sustains life. And then the Queen of Cups. Oh my God, here. The Queen of Cups. Watery. This is the Cancer energy. Home hearth energy. Very emotional, very intuitive. Very reflective. She can be shadowy and very emotionally codependent also in the dark side. Fantasy also. Can live in like fantasy in those emotions. I have to go to the bathroom. My bladder is screaming. Okay. Okay, so I was getting the Queen of Swords. What she's learning here is like, is the Queen of fucking Fire going to come out? The Queen of Wands. Um, there is some sense of incorporating or balancing out her own, like her feminine energy and flowing through this. They're pulling me to that balance, spirituality, and practicality. Of knowing how to flow through different energies to work through her fears and to take action to whatever it is that she needs or whatever she's learning. Um, there's something here with that. I don't know how to explain it, but like a balancing or a mastery over, and it has to do with this learning first. Like in that Queen of Swords energy, this protection, and then there's something with her feminine energy of flowing through them. For balancing out her life. But it's not just the physical, it's as above, so below. It's like she's learning what part of her, what aspect of her in these feminine energies are needed for what. Like what role she needs to step into. It's like, what mask do I need at this moment? But it's not really the mask, it's really who she is. And then there's like, if something's not working out in that energy, say if she goes into her Queen of Cups, something triggers her and she goes into her Queen of Cups, or she's needing to be soft or gentle, because it doesn't have to be necessarily negative. It is then learning if she is struggling like emotionally, then how to like navigate into another feminine, like that feminine energy of maybe like the Queen of Pentacles instead, to balance and ground herself. Instead of getting sucked into her emotions, there's more maturity, there's more growth here within the balancing of her feminine and this incorporation of her feminine. Now I have a second thing. I really don't want to go to the second, but we're going to the second. Then we have this Queen of Swords. And she is trying to bring, okay, so she's all up in her head. She tells people off. Um, she's very protective, highly protective of herself. She's been through a shit storm. So she has this spark through her fear. Her protection is her fear of how to come together with a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups energy. Like she's thinking, like, how do I overcome? There's something with the fear. How do I overcome something with fear? It's either to bring them together or overcome something. What is the overcoming? You got me a little confused here. What's going on? That personal issue that reaches resolution. This it's something with the energies of these feminine energies now that are different outside of that first reading. I gotta move on. And then the Prince of Swords. We're going to, I don't know if it's a third story. It could be connected with the first one. They cut it off right there for that second one. That's all they gave me. I just lost the third one that they gave me. There's too many fucking energies. It is tapping me out. It's draining me. What the fuck? Oh, this Queen of Swords. This inspiration or this creativity is also, she's learning something. We're going back to what I was saying. The learning how to protect herself from this energy of a Queen of Pentacles and a Queen of Cups, and then a Prince of Swords energy. What I'm getting from this is, okay, the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, um, they adapt Prince of Swords energy. I think this is connected to the first one. That Prince of Swords energy is rough, abrasive, reckless, immature, arrogant communication that's normally coming in. This one is a little bit different, but they're giving me that first, right? Okay, so she's learning information in regards to these two feminine energies and how they speak. And so now she's, in regards to that, now she has to gain, she has to learn how to deal with them and speak with them. And like show them, lead them the way, like that higher, the higher way of what is best on how to deal with this type of energy. This Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, who, even though they're the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, it's not really who they are. That's like the mask that they wear, right? The energy that they're in. Okay, they might be a Queen of Pentacles or a Queen of Cups, like as in where they were born, okay? And that's like the placement, the signs of where they, like how they were born. But the energy of how these queens are is the Prince of Swords or Page of Swords energy. Abrasive, rude, reckless, quick communication. This Queen of Swords is learning new ways and trying to communicate with them or deal with them in their fucked up, toxic, low vibrational, immature communication. And we're going back to that spiritual protection as well as energetic. Multiple storylines here. It's funny, they had me separate them out too. They're pulling me to the codependency of like Queen of Cups energy. That can be something because of emotional codependency. But then there's codependency in regards to Queen of Pentacles. Also, there can be codependency. It's like that toxic side. So if you are learning how to incorporate your own, you're balancing out, you're dealing with the shadow sides of all that so you can move through them and not go into the shadow is what they're showing me. In regards to the other ones, the other storylines, I can't keep up with them. Dealing with these immature people, okay? These immature queens, the way they communicate, the way they talk, their mentality. They're not really queens. It's like the mask. We're talking about the mask that they wear. The flies on the wall. Their energy over here. You see the flies on the wall. See how she's cutting shit away from her? She's protecting herself from those energies. I told you, this fell out underneath the Queen of Pentacles and the Queen of Cups, and it's sideways. The Magician and their nastiness, they're trying to come in. And with this nasty communication, I'm getting like that trickster energy. Like the magician, you can either manifest good or you can be manipulative and toxic, unhealthy in the magician energy. You know, like that polarity, right? For the one reading this feminine here, where she's learning how to flow through and deal with triggers in each feminine energy, it is so that she can keep herself balanced, deal with those to be more high vibrational for her manifestation. Like that balance that it brings her, this balanced spirituality and practicality. For internally, your own self dealing with these energies, it is flowing through and incorporating and dealing with the triggers or the shadow side of both one of these for your balancing out of your feminine energy for manifestation as the magician. Like learning how to do that or what's needed. Ooh, I gotta hurry and finish this. This has just gone all over the place. The High Priestess. I told you I was picking up on the High Priestess energy. It flew out over underneath the Queen of Swords. And because she needs her balance. So if you happen to resonate with all of it and you need to, you know, you're getting rid of people and then you're learning all this crap too for, it is for manifesting, right? To be the magician, but it's also to manifest, to be balanced as the High Priestess, to learn more, to be able to grow as the High Priestess. If you don't overcome your fears as a High Priestess, remember I was talking about the illusionary energy of Neptune? Fears and illusions, not being balanced. The High Priestess, then going to a Queen of Swords. She's going to cut out spirit. She's going to cut out every fucking body. You got to learn and grow and elevate yourself and chop that shit down so you can, like, there's like a struggle. Like she keeps being pulled back and forth from getting information and getting information, meaning being that vessel. Because when she's balanced, she's the High Priestess and shit comes in. When she's out of balance because of dealing with bullshit like that, she can't manifest. She cannot fucking be the High Priestess. She gets pulled down, pulled back vibrationally, and then she's the fucking Queen of Swords. So learning to overcome all this, to be the magician, to be herself, her true authentic self, and to be balanced, to overcome, to manifest the life that she wants to create and the people she wants in her life, what is going to be serving of her. This just went fucking nutty. Because then she's in her purity through the darkness, like through the moon energy and balanced. Through all fear, she's balanced. So then she's not pulled, her vibration's not pulled back, her frequency's not pulled back. She's not fucking regressing and then have to overcome again because she's found peace and balance with fucking her fear, with these illusions, with the moon energy. And knows how to protect herself as above, so below, spiritually, energetically, fucking physically. And then dealt with all of her fears, illusions, programmings, and all of those feminine energies so that she can be balanced as the High Priestess and keep growing as the High Priestess, and also to be able to manifest. But we're going back to the second is, it's not really second, it's who knows all over the fucking place. In regards to these nasty feminine energies over here, that the Queen of Pentacles and Queen of Cups, who are actually Prince of Swords energy, trying to manifest. She's over here doing all this. This has to do with her manifestation. But them over here, they're trying to manifest also. They're trying to manifest their way back in. They're trying to manifest a way. They keep pulling me to the energy that they're really in is this Prince of Swords energy in that negative sense. I'm not sure what the meaning is here, but it's not as negative here as it is in some other ones in regards to like Page of Swords being reckless and like abrasive and rude and fast, quick communication that can be immature and all over nasty. It's low vibrational or more immature. Okay, depending on where you lie. Sometimes it can just be quick and abrasive and not low vibrational. But I'm getting this low vibrational energy. They have a bird here for a reason. Because it's not the bird here and not how she was chopping the birds, right? Energetically, they're also trying to come in. They're not just trying to come in physically, but as above, so below first. They're trying to, they are trying to manifest to get in. They're like spiritual attacks, okay? Spiritual and energetic attacks, they're also trying to get in physically. She's fighting them off. And she's gaining this creativity here, what they're telling me, this spark, this fire through the dark, the light through the dark. She's seeing the attacks spiritually and energetically, and that they are trying to manifest shit physically. That's not good for her. So even though she's set back as the high priestess, the bitch is still a high priestess, and she's learning through the darkness. Oh shit, she's learning through the fear of not being tapped in as a high priestess to actually fucking be a high priestess when she's got to work for it. Oh shit. That she's going to be unstoppable. Oh fuck. What they just gave me, she's going to be unstoppable then. If she's sat back and has to fight her fucking way back to the high priestess and claw her way back, and in this darkness, she can see them because it's her light. She can see them because of her fucking light. She's gained enough setback, regressed as the Queen of Swords, that her light is what is shining through to fucking see them, to fight it off. Oh shit. She's more powerful than what she realizes. Okay, Spirit, that's just really weird. And I'm so confused on how right now this has to do with the song, but they keep telling me, I keep questioning them. And it does. I have not figured out quite yet how. Oh, well, still, letting people go. Whether if it's, oh shit. These energies here have stopped her not only from being the high priestess, but from having love. This is low vibrational and toxic. She's wishing them love because she's moving on for love for herself. But love for herself ultimately is to raise in her vibration, to be who she is, to grow and gain in that. She's got to fight to get back to it. Her light is shining the way for her manifestation. What is that going to be for? If she's wishing them love, then it's for her own love, not just self-love, but then love at the end of the day. She's letting go of people that don't want to see her succeed. People that wish her ill and that are fucking low vibrational and that are trying to manifest harm for her and come in and create bullshit. I mean, they set her back. Energetically, they set her back. Oh, wow. All right, what else, Spirit? You guys got me all over the damn place. Yeah, this landed on the Queen of Pentacles. And it's in reverse. The Chariot. Slow movement forward, slow healing. This is not healing. Part of it was on the Magician also. She's going to get to a level here where no matter, that's that unstoppable. Spiritually, she's learning how to fight it off. And she's becoming strong enough and becoming unstoppable that no matter what they do over here, especially the Queen of Pentacles, because it landed on the Queen of Pentacles. But the Queen of Pentacles is the beginning of this row over here that they had me separate. A little bit is on the magician. They're not going to be able to fuck with her at all, spiritually, energetically, or physically. She is becoming so powerful. She's shutting them the fuck down. She's wishing them healing, but they're not gonna take it. The scales over here are like tipping in heaviness. Or it's like they're weighing their own selves down. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit, they just gave me something else. Those energies there and this not healing. This is in darkness, in spirituality, in darkness emotionally. Refusing. This refusal, this bitterness, anger, resentment that they hold on to. They're weighing them down so much that they're going under. The more they hit you, the more they're gonna fucking fall down, the more you're gonna rise. Energy is what I'm getting. They're like burying themselves, especially when it comes to emotionally. They're showing me how these two feminine, now they're showing me like this Queen of Pentacles. What she's doing by not healing is she's becoming more toxic and unhealthy emotionally, but she's burying herself, like drowning herself. She's cutting off her own fucking head at the end of the day. But her rising, she's not going to be able to touch her. She's going deeper into the underworld. Oh, damn. So the Chariot in reverse. There's that refusal to heal. I gotta get out. This went really weird. She's gonna be stuck in mud. Emotionally, energetically, vibrationally. She's gonna be stuck in mud. When this catches up to her, all that she's doing and trying to manifest, it's not, she's gonna be stuck in the mud. You overcoming is gonna keep her stuck in the mud. Because then she can't feed off of you. And she refuses to heal, so she's going to be stuck there. This is how then you're also unstoppable. That balancing of the scale, you overcome and rise, and she can't fucking touch you, but then she can't move. She's stuck in this fucking mud. And what they mean by this is she's stuck in the mud, meaning even though she's becoming more and more resentful, she's stuck in the mud. So she can't rise even in the darkness. She's maxed out on her devil energy because she's stuck in the mud. She can't, that's the highest she can evolve in manifesting and being a magician in this darkness and vengefulness. She can't go no higher of these energetic and spiritual attacks. Neither one of them. They're stuck in the mud. So they cannot raise it's that polarity of rising, even though it's more destruction. I mean, if you think about devil energy and you think about, I don't like calling it witchcraft because, you think about like black magic or blood magic, like something that's unhealthy, taking people's free will, trying to harm someone, and being a magician in that energy, like they would call witchcraft. So you think about like evil versus like the high priestess. You take those two energies, they cannot rise. They cannot rise in their darkness and in that power of darkness because they're stuck in the fucking mud. That there's only so far they can max out. There's only, even in that energy, there's only so far you can go. Oh, it's not just symbolic, it's the truth of it. It's only so far you can go. They're showing me an energetic connection here where there's only so far they can go to. Is her elevating stops them somehow, like that pull. Like somehow energetically, vibrationally, her healing and wishing them healing helps them so that even though they get stuck there in the mud, that's like what serves them is it's the protection. It's the protection where it helps them where they can't elevate themselves more in darkness. Oh shit. That be careful what you speak of, but understanding how to utilize what's meant for your harm, for your good, and how you're speaking. But you don't even have to speak ill. You're speaking good, and it's protecting you, right? Instead of destruction, you spoke life. Of that wishing you love, wishing you peace, or whatever it was in that song, and makes it so they. So in a way, you're protecting them also. You're protecting them from themselves in a way. Even though they're stuck there, is they're going to suffer there. Right? They're going to have to work like hell to get out of it, but they can't grow in their devil energy as a magician or I don't know the right words to use in that trickster energy of devil energy as a magician. They can't grow. They can't get stronger energetically or physically to attack you or to do you no more harm. And you didn't have to do harm to them to make them stuck in that mud, right? So you help save them from themselves so that they don't go further down that fucking pit into devil energy, getting worse. Even though they're getting stronger, they'd still be getting worse. Think about how much more they'd have to rise. Now they're just going to be stuck in the fucking mud. In limbo, pissed off because they can't grow. Because what they're wanting to grow in is they want to go. I mean, if you think about that polarity on the spectrum, whether if it's up or down or sideways, the meeting point here is neutral. This is good, God source energy, high priestess energy. This way is like devil energy of trying to grow and manifest in that trickster energy as a magician, right? If they want to grow, they don't care. They don't care if they want to grow in this way. You can't, because they want to attack you. Because their vengeance inside, their hatred, their whatever negative crap, that toxicity that they're showing me is growing worse. So it makes them want to feed more and hurt more. That dark side of the trickster, right? To grow and gain as a trickster. So that, my God, I don't know how to explain this shit. So that they're stronger in that energy and they can grow. You've got them stuck, which pisses them off. They can't grow. But now they're just going to be stuck in that hell, that emotional misery. And they'd be stuck there anyways. But yeah, that's protection for them. If you think if they evolve, there's more like karmic and I don't know how to explain. I don't even know where I went off to. This is quite crazy, but I hope somebody understands. Your light here that found your way through the darkness, that lit you up to see this shit, that light here is what's helping protect them too. That's beautiful, actually. This high priestess energy, who's now a queen of swords right now, actually, that's very beautiful. That is very goddess energy. Healer. Very loving. It's at the bottom of the deck. So this Queen of Swords, High Priestess / High Priestess, she's walking away from anything and everything that doesn't serve her in seek of her 9 of Cups for her 10 of Cups, which is going to be family. So then family is romantic love and family and friends and, right, walking away from anything and everything that does not serve her. I'm going back to what it was I was channeling, and it does relate to this song. My experience and what I'm talking about, though, in regards to this reading, that can be masculine energy. It can be feminine. It can be family who stopped you. It can be an ex-partner, and it can be so many different dynamics for you. It's just all feminine energy. And I was utilizing my storyline and the things that I know in regards to myself, because a lot of times your biggest enemies are the ones closest to home or home altogether. People just don't see it because you have to overcome, ancestral wounds and patterns and all this other crap. So the Eight of Cups, the walking away. It's funny. She's walking away from or he is walking away from all those cups and about to dive into the fucking ocean. Dive into the ocean of emotions, emotional stability, and this endless supply, abundant supply of love and emotional support and spirituality. And through the moonlight, through the fear. Oh, that's what she's been fucking doing. That's funny. In walking away, remember, spiritually, energetically, she had to walk away. They're showing me she was a high priestess before he got pulled back down to a queen of swords. Has to learn to fight all of this and walk away. Interesting. All right. Advice, guidance, and support for this reading, please, Spirit. What advice, guidance, and support do you have for this reading? This is like trippy. Advice, guidance, and support for this reading, please, Spirit. I gotta get off here. This took forever to channel. It was all these weird ass freaking energies, all these different. She's this Nine of Cups. It landed on the Nine of Cups, and then it, because it can't stay there. It's partially on it though, so it's covering up the cups, but you can see the person walking into the water. Vesta, home. Your household situation is improving, either through a move or a healthy change in the occupancy. They're moving like Vesta. This is the home, and they're walking. And all those cups, it landed where this Vesta is covering up the cups. So that home, they're leaving that home, that familiar, right? And all that they knew before in the past, and walking away. Walking away, that means they're facing their fucking fear and going into the water and the unknown for their ultimate fulfillment, wish fulfillment. Nine of Cups, 10 of Cups. And overcoming fear. So you have to, that's kind of fool energy. You have to kind of take a leap of faith to go. It's like Eight of Cups is if you want to think about hierarchy and like major arcana and lower like the lower, it's like this would be the Eight of Cups is lower than the Fool. The Fool would be like the step up, is what they're showing me. Because it's that energy. No matter how bad it hurts, you have to have faith. You have to, in faith, take that leap of faith, right? You may not know that you're going to be okay because you're walking through fear. It's the moon energy of fear and illusions and darkness, sorrows. Wow. It's like you learned, this is the energy of you learned through like hell. You learned through hell, through difficulties, through pain, through trauma, how to have faith. But now, like, learn through faith. Like, that's the next step level. And that's not the right wordings, but that's like what I'm getting in a way. How do I explain that? Like, you learn to have faith through the hell. That'd be like the Eight of Cups. Now it's learning and growing and to get into the Fool energy. Like by faith. I don't know how to explain that. I'm not taking any takers. More advice, guidance, and support. All right, there we go. All right, let's see. It's funny. Okay, so I'm getting the messages here. So walking away, it covered up the moon. The walking away is facing that fear. So it helps you overcome the moon energy of fears and illusions to be able to be the magician and manifest what it is you want. It also helps you to overcome these attacks from the other people. We have Hathor, receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. And this overcoming, then, okay, you have to learn how to receive again, especially spiritually, to come down to the whatever because of this energy over here. Like they can't touch you no more, but you have to learn. There's more learning here of allowing yourself to receive again and not keeping that at bay that they can't touch you, but like learning how to open yourself up, but be able to, it's like you close yourself off, trying to protect yourself against that. So it's learning to let go of the reins, right? So that you can receive, because you're walking through faith. But this move forward in this Eight of Cups helps you do this because you're going through that. You're facing your fears by moving forward to help you gain in like being able to receive, but yet still block them out. And then you can manifest, but yet you can still block them out and they can't touch you. It's gaining in your confidence or your power or something like that, right? I'm not sure what exactly that would be. And then we have vast independence because you're gaining in your independence spiritually, energetically, as well as physically. And how that manifests and trickles down to your protection. So independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. Because with your independence comes a success, which relates to, is strength. Your independence is strength. And then that equates to success because you're stronger. You are more powerful, right? You're gaining in your power, in your light through that darkness as you walk through. Like energetically, just energetically, that word, even though that's all it is, gaining in your strength, gaining in your independence, and overcoming and conquering this fear. It's all the dynamics and bits and pieces of it that make it where then you're going to be able to learn how to open to receive again, but yes, still protect yourself from them. And all it is gaining in your independence and gaining in your strength to overcome for success, like growing in your power. It's kind of like ironic, that's all it is, but all the work that it can take. It's kind of strange. Maui, Mother Earth, you are called upon to help with environmentalism. What I'm getting with this, she's healing Mother Earth. She's holding Mother Earth in her hand, receiving energies and giving it energies. You give as a masculine. She's holding with her right hand. So she's holding, nurturing life into Mother Earth. So it's like grid work, being a vessel, not just as a grid work, but like transmitting, being a transmitter, like for grid work in earth healing, Mother Earth healing, is what I'm getting with this environmentalism here. All right, I got to get off here. Thank you for joining me. If you made it up to this point, it was a lot. So I don't like when it happens like this, when I read like this, but sometimes it's like this. And there's nothing I can do about it when it happens, it happens. All I can do is get through it. Anyways, I appreciate all of your support. I appreciate your likes and shares. And I pray that your day is full of blessings. Thank you for joining me.